Hello, this is Art Napolitano, and I'm privileged to have the Chief Operations Officer for Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines, Mr. Robert Harkings, with me on an interview today. Now, I've got to know Robert. We've had many conversations about the market that just opened in Australia, about the future launch of New Zealand and the Philippines. We were just out in Oslo at an international convention together, and I was so impressed that he had a long history in direct selling and had incredible success in the field, even became a six-figure a month earner several times. So, Robert, I'm just honored that you're part of Zinzino, that you're helping us build our team. So for all of our viewers, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and why did you get involved in the direct selling industry?
Well, it's an interesting factor. As you know, when you get involved with the direct sales industry, normally somebody makes a phone call to you or an invitation. I was actually working as a corporate executive for IBM at the time, and I got invited to a conference in Salt Lake City in the USA. I walked into that conference expecting just to have a look around and say, "Look, this is probably not for me." But what did really impress me or made that emotional decision for me to get involved with the industry? I saw a person on stage that was actually earning $750,000 a year in direct sales. And I thought to myself, I said, if that person can earn that type of money in this industry, if I can't come back in 12 months and double that, I should be ashamed of myself. So that's what exactly happened. I fell into the industry, as I always say. I had no skill sets in the direct sales industry. Yes, I've been in the communication field or in what I call sales most of my life, especially with IBM. And then when I made that decision, I knew that the company that I was getting involved with was a highly consumable product. And I knew that I had a good chance because it was going to pre-launch or open up the Australian marketplace. And just for those people that are listening, guys, I came back, let you know, 18 months after the pre-launch. And yes, I was the number one, number two income earner from Australia, and we pre-launched an incredible country here in Australia. And that forced me into the industry. And guys, it's now been just over 25 years. I have been with 4 companies, and I did hit 3 speed bumps, and then I found this incredible company called Zinzino. And that's where my history really hit hard after finding another great company that I knew that I could work with very, very solidly.
I have to say, Robert, I've been in the industry 35 years. I walked into a meeting and I saw professional people like you saying, well, if they're involved, it must be good. Then I saw some other people that I said, if they can do it, I can do it. And I hadn't had success in business. I was a rock musician. I was looking for a chance to make income to buy a new car. And I learned about residual income, and that got my attention. Now, since then, I've had a few bumps in the road, as you say, over my 35 years. And 8 months ago, at the timing that we're filming this, I got started with Zinzino. And I think for many of the same reasons you're in Zinzino, I'm in Zinzino, I saw this as the next multi-billion-dollar brand. But for those watching, I came from a service background, and I took advantage of a trend, and I knew I was at the right place at the right time. And I think for all of you watching this, whether you're looking to get involved in Australia or one of the markets you're in charge of, or any other place in the world for Zinzino, you need to understand the trends, the timing, and what you want. So what are some of the trends that you talk about that Zinzino is in front of, Robert?
I think the core that really caught my attention, and it's just on 6 years ago when I had that infamous fly-in. Okay, I flew into headquarters just to make sure I understood that what they were offering was the real deal. We know there's a lot of programs out there that are not the real deal, because when you do get involved with a company, you do put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. But the core was the Zinzino balance test. I always said from my first company, my second, and my third, and my fourth, that if I could prove the products were working, if I could categorically say that the products that are working on the person or my customer, that would be the game changer. And that was really it. When I got there just on 6 years ago and saw that it was a test-based company, it had a highly consumable product, and it was a publicly traded company like my first company. That made the difference to me. The minute I saw that, I said, this is the game changer. This is the company I'm prepared to get involved with.
I've had the chance to work in this industry a long time. I've worked in Australia. I've worked in New Zealand. I've worked in 18 European countries, Mexico, Colombia. I am so excited to be able to help pioneer the markets that you're overseeing, especially with you, with all your incredible experience. Anybody watching this needs to understand how valuable Robert is to all of us. He's actually out there leading from the front. He's helping to set up the systems we need that we just need to plug into. He's actually consider this. He's made so much success in the field, and now he's actually helping us to build our income. So can you talk a little bit about how things are going in Australia, what the timing is like, and the strategy for opening new countries? Because I know just in a short period of time, we'll be fully operational in New Zealand and the Philippines. So I want people watching this to know how they can take advantage of this, but they need to understand, how does Enzino roll out these markets?
Look, it's interesting, Art, because every person that actually I get on a Zoom call, and I do a number of calls on a daily basis as the official staff member here in Australia, New Zealand, and Philippines. Or every time they say, "Well, why are you on that side of the fence and not on as a partner?" I said, "Guys, let me put it this way. When you lead a team into a program, you need to make sure it's a safe haven. Because when you do put the sweat equity into it, in other words, the first year or so is always you're doing a lot of sweat equity for little return. But as it revolves, or evolves, you know that the sweat equity is smaller and the returns are much larger. So I wanted a safe haven for every person I spoke to, Art, every conversation I had. I wanted to make sure that I knew that this company was doing the right thing by all of the people that was in the business and also going to bring their teams to the business. So myself making the decision to be the corporate member, for the opportunity here in Australia was probably one of the best decisions I've made, because that allows people to feel comfortable knowing that a professional networker has made a sacrifice, because I can be making 100 grand a month on the other side of the fence. I already know that. But I wanted to make sure that the thousands of people that have followed the program, got involved with Enzino because of my conversations, that they could feel safe, they could build a long-term residual-based income. Now, that leads us to Australia. Australia is in a what I call soft launch, pre-launch phase right now. We have all the authorities here approved, so all of our products have licensing or registrations with the authorities here in Australia. So as you're communicating with your clients, your customers, they feel comfortable that the Therapeutics Goods Administration has given us a listing number on all the products. That did take us a number of years to do that, because we had a speed bump in life that was about 2.5 years. We got over that speed bump, and over the last 18 months, we are now set up. Everything is ready to go. So Australia is the greatest opportunity for anybody to get involved with. Coupled with that, next March, we're going to open up New Zealand and also the Philippines. These two markets are now prepared and ready to start their operations as on-the-ground operations. And I believe that once we do the next 6 months here in Australia, the stepping stone into the New Zealand marketplace, then into the Philippines, is simply going to be the greatest opportunity for direct salespeople that are looking for a company that is test-based, not guest-based, when it comes to their product offering.
When we launch new countries, that what I've been seeing in the Leaders Council is they show us the strategy, and I love the simplicity of the balance oil and test. So is this how it works in your region as well? Do we start there before we add the rest of the health protocol products?
Look, the biggest confusion that happens in indirect sales is most companies come in here with 5, 10, 15 different products, and that causes chaos. That's all it does. It's total chaos. Everybody's first words is, I must learn the systems. I must learn all the data on the products. When you have only 2 products or 3 products here in Australia, it makes life so much easier. We have the balance test, the testing devices. We have the balanced oil. Yes, we have multiple flavors. And then we have our Xenobiotic, which is our gut product. That is our health protocol here in Australia. You combine those 3 products together and you have the health protocol, and that will see dramatic differences in anybody's health in starting on the products from day one to when they get to the first test, or this what I call the first part of the program, the 120 days. They will see a dramatic results within their body and cellular structure. From that point onwards, yes, we can move on and we'll get further products approved. We have a full range of products lined up to release here in Australia. But right now, we're doing the simple stage. We just simply have balanced test. We have the balanced oil along with the Xenobiotic. Works like a dream. And we do exactly the same thing in New Zealand and in the Philippines. It makes it very, very easy to launch a country and get maximum result on the compensation side.
The industry in 2023 of direct selling was 176 billion. The largest segment has always been the wellness segment. Within that, Zinzino identified the biggest global problem in nutrition, and that is the deficiency of omega-3. According to the World Health Organization, 6.3 billion people are deficient, and this test shows it. When I got started with Zinzino, they talked about 100 million customers by 2050. And I'm thinking you're not even at 1 million yet, although the target this year is 1 million. As a corporate leader for Zinzino, and the incredible corporate team I've met here is superior than any I've ever seen. How do you see us getting to that 100 million?
Well, see, I always train when I'm communicating with people and educating people on, because they always say, well, what's the secret verbiage? What is that secret verbiage that you've got? It's very simple. Art, can I ask you a simple question? Are you consuming omega-3 of any type? Yes or no? The answer is always yes or no. Okay, so let's assume that it's a no. Well, that's okay. That's great. I'm looking for people that are actually consuming omega-3s. Move on to the next person. You already know that we've got 500 million people that are consuming omegas, so it's a yes or a no. All you're looking for is somebody that's consuming it. And then I say, have you ever been tested for your omega essential fatty acids? And the answer is always never thought about it. Well, once we do the test, I can guarantee you will be out of balance. And then I can share with you a solution with a product that we know will have you back in balance and your omegas working effectively within your cellular structure. It's such a simple program to communicate. Doesn't matter whether they're family, friends, or people, you meet somebody. It's just a qualifying question, lead them into a test, and then show them the results of their blood or cellular structure.
Well, I'm so excited to be working with you. I've had partners in Australia and New Zealand. I have some getting started right now. I have some waiting. The network marketing people that I know, I try to educate them. I did a video, Why Zinzino, where I talk about the internal exchange within the industry that gives people an advantage because they have a warm market of people that already believe and know network marketing works. But I say the long-term success has nothing to do with that. We have to attract the external market, people that have never been involved in the industry. I have met so many people that this has been their first run in network marketing, and they're here because they're passionate about the health protocol, about the balance oil, about the test. And honestly, people need to also be making some money. So I don't know the economy that well today down in Australia. I know the market is just beginning, but what advice can you have for everyone that's looking to build in Australia, or is it too early to even talk to people about the Philippines and New Zealand? What would you suggest for people that are watching?
I would certainly communicate with anybody here in Australia. This is on the ground operation. It is ready to be, emotionally disturbed with a great network of people, and it's ready to go. This opportunity, I've spent 5+ years now getting it ready for this time. This is the time. Just in the other two markets, they are ready to go, guys. Okay. Again, I've spent the last number of years preparing those two markets. And I believe that those three markets, okay, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, will be one of the top, I'm going to say 10 countries for Zenzino long term, because the potential and the connection in the Asia Pacific Rim is simply outstanding. Australia into New Zealand, New Zealand and Australia into the Philippines, Philippines back into Australia and New Zealand. The circle is just perfect. Yeah, we all speak English, so it makes it very simple. The transaction or direct sales understanding, everybody understands that. And also, I believe that, when you're talking about $2 Australian a day for your product, a cup of coffee in Australia is $5. I mean, you've got to be serious. It's your health and your cellular well-being that we're talking about. We all know the speed bump in life taught us that we have to have our immune system right. This company, this product is right there. It's ready to dominate the Australian or the Asia Pacific Rim.
Well, in closing, I want to summarize. If you're someone that's been looking for a long-term home in this industry, if you want to be someone to pioneer new markets and have this incredible upside, if you're someone that wants to work with somebody who's done it before in the field that's leading us on the corporate level, then you found that place here with Zenzino. Robert, I am so grateful that I've got to know you. I can't wait to run side by side with you. I want to get back down under, as we say, and run with you in person. Right now, I'm keeping a second home in Spain. My first home is back in the United States. But who knows? Maybe I'll come out and spend a year with you, and we'll run around that part of the world together. As really at this point in my life, I'm up for new excitement and new experiences while we help make a difference in people's health and help them with their finances. So, Robert, thank you so much for being with me on this Zoom and recording. And I'm hoping this message will impact a lot of people and they can see the vision of where we're going.
Thank you, and look forward to working hand in hand with you and take your business to the next level.